Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's breakfast show. So, as you can see, we've got the amazing Tracey Munro with us today, who's going to be talking about her journey and also about the things that she does to get motivated in the morning, and also to, sharing some of her tips and her secrets with you all, and make sure that you get your day started in a positive way. So, Tracey, are you there?
I am. Morning, Chris.
Morning, Trace. Okay, so first of all, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. I know that you're a very busy lady, and you're always this round about this time. You're normally motivating your team. So what I'd like you to do first, Trace, if you can, is to give us a little bit of tell us your story, and then after that, we'll put on your favorite motivational video. Then, so off you go, Trace.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Hi, guys. Good morning. So my name is Tracey Munro, for those who don't know me, and I'm just going to tell you about how I started with Forever. So I joined back in 2013, actually May the 16th. So today is my anniversary.
Happy
So
Halloween.
3 years. Thanks, Chris. 3 years today I joined Forever. It's been absolutely incredible. I used to have several salons over the years, high street businesses. We always knew there was something out there, so we kept trying different things. Unfortunately, it was difficult over the years trying to pay the staff, the overheads, the rent. And I decided then, just before I did, just a year before I did join Forever, that I wanted to give up work and work from home around kids, because Chris was working away, so he was only home every other weekend. So we sold the salon, and I instead invested £12,000 into an online travel agency. I thought that was going to be brilliant. I could work it from home, make loads of money, well, not loads, but a good income. But unfortunately, it was the complete opposite, because there's so many of them different travel agencies out there. It was really hard to beat low-cost companies. But we were asked to take a look at Forever 3 years before I did join, and I kept ignoring Natalie all the time. But this time, she asked me to take a look at the opportunity, so I did one evening, and that was it. It was absolutely incredible when I saw that, the marketing plan and the royalty style income. So we joined on the 16th of May, 3 years ago. We did get up the marketing plan quite quickly, but it was all based on the 4CCs. Everybody was doing their 4CCs. You know, I had my first 5 key people in the first week. They'd done their 4 to 5CC by the end of the month. And that's what really helped. So it was all, all the basics. It was just so basic. And it was run on excitement as well. We got to manager in less than 8 weeks. But the excitement, messaging my team, how are you doing? I was getting up at 5 in the mornings so that I had an hour or two extra in the mornings before the kids got up for school and the mad rush went. I never put the TV on, watching. I never watched TV at all. I had just sat in my kitchen or went out and about every day doing one-to-ones or launches every morning and every night. And it did work. It absolutely changed our life completely. So after 8 months, Chris gave up his engineer job. And after 12 months, we went soaring managers, and the last 2 years have been absolutely incredible. We've been able to achieve all the things that we're ticking off slowly off our dream board. So it has just been amazing.
Brilliant. And what I'd like to personally thank you as well, Trish, because you obviously introduced us into this as well, which has been completely life changing for us, and to be able to do it with our friends as well. We've known each other for a long time. We've known each other for around about 16 years, and being part of each other's lives at the moment is amazing. And giving us the opportunity to be able to join in, and I think we never would have forgiven you if you hadn't come over and told us exactly what you were doing. And I think that's a lesson for anyone who's listening, is that what you can do is, if you are keeping this opportunity away from people, then they're not going to thank you for doing that. And I think you've got to tell everybody about it.
That's definitely true. And Kath was right on top of my list. She was actually was the first one I wrote down, if you look at my old First Steps to Manager books. And I kept skipping past her because I was scared. She was on my chicken list. And she only joined, it was about a week after I got to manager. So if I hadn't gone over their house and she'd asked me some questions, she would never have joined. And you know, she's a great friend. So make sure that you are telling all your friends about this opportunity because you want to change their lives and your family.
Brilliant. Okay, right. What I'm going to do, Trace, I'm going to put on your motivational video now. So let me just skip over to that. Where are we? If I can find it. There we go. Okay. You are, everybody. Just listen to it. This is Tracy's motivational video. Believe in yourself. It's Ben Leon Scott's channel. So if you want to subscribe to that, this video's had over 6 million views. So I'm sure it's going to be very good. So have a listen in.
Your brain is like a circuit switch. Once you believe you are something, you actually embody it. You embody that feeling. If you were, God forbid, in a coma, and you woke up and you didn't really have a memory, and you were told that you used to be a Navy SEAL, and they want you back now when you're healthy, do you think you'd act differently and hold yourself differently, conduct yourself different, and have a different self-concept of who you are than if you were told you were a piano instructor? Being successful in life is all about having the proper belief system in who you are. Truly believing that you are something unique, that you are something special in that field. If you truly believe inside of you that you are one of the best actors in the world, you will be entirely different than if you're like, I hope I'm good. Your expressions will be totally different. Your tone of voice. You'll talk in a more convincing fashion. You'll use your natural voice instead of a scripted one. You'll be more emphatic. You'll be more real, more relatable. Our brain is like a circuit. And so if we introduce it with the proper wiring, you're going to go straight to your target. If you're unsure about who you are, then your dreams, your goals, they will never become a reality. Everyone has mental doubts in life, internal conflicts. Even the most successful people that you look up to. But they don't live there. It's how you handle those negative thoughts in that exact moment and overwhelm them with positive action. And that comes with this utmost confidence in yourself that you can handle the situation. Trust in yourself that you are better than the moment.
The greats think differently. The greats see differently, right? The greats have a different worldview. The greats, they approach the game in a totally different way. So I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to think about what you're thinking about when your effort is low. Because if you can get this, you can get any success you want in life. You can have anything you want in life if you can get this. The next time you give a low effort, right? You give it 70% or 50% or 30%. I want you to think about what you're thinking about when your effort is low. If your effort is low, you're probably not thinking about the opportunity. You're probably thinking about the obligation. And when you think about E.T., how you stay pumped up. E.T.'s how you stay on fire. E.T., how you always driven, even in the midst of trials and tribulations, even in the midst of your haters, when people try to break you and tear you down. E.T., how you stay strong. I keep thinking about the opportunities. Every single day, I'm thinking about the opportunities, and I'm not looking at this thing as an obligation. I'm not looking at this thing as something that I have to do, or that I'm forced to do, right? Something that somebody's making me do. Every time I wake up, I'm thinking, I'm alive, baby. This is the day. This is an opportunity. If you want what you've never had before, if you want to do what you've never done before, if you want to be what you've never been before, change your mentality. And I want you to see that effort goes up when you look at it as, I got an opportunity of a lifetime. But you should be excited about the fact that you have an opportunity.
Wow. So, and that's how simple it is to be able to get yourself really, motivated. And I don't know about any of you, but that's really got, me hair standing up on the back of my neck. I love that motivational video, Trace. Really, really, really good.
It is really good. I love it. It's all about believing in yourself. You really, really have to believe in this business 100%. Believe in yourself 100% and the product. And if you don't, doubt is a dream killer. If you get any little doubt at all, it's, you've got to get that belief and believe in others until they start believing in themselves, because a lot of people need you to put their belief in them in the very beginning as well.
Yeah, and what I love about that video is saying that if you woke up and you didn't, and you'd lost your memory and somebody told you that you were a Navy SEAL, then, would you act differently? And I know I was reading a book yesterday and it was saying about confidence and persona are everything. And I think that if you look at the successful people and how they walk, talk and act, then, there's a saying of fake it until you make it. But the one I read yesterday was fake it until you become it. And what you can do is you can walk into a room and you can be standing, copying somebody that you mentor yourself on. I don't know if you've got somebody. I know Will Smith is somebody who I look up to a lot, and I watch his body language and the way that he is. And you walk into a room like that, and your body language is different. So always be aware of how you're acting and how you're walking. And like it said, if you thought you were a Navy SEAL, would you act differently? And I'm sure you would. You would adapt the body language and the attitude of somebody like that. And you can do that every single day. And that's something that you can really, really look to be able to start putting into your day, because how you act is how people will treat you. And if you're acting low, then people will treat you as low. If you're acting like you could take on the world, then people will respect you for that as well. Is there anybody that you look up to, Trace? Any of your people that you look up to and model yourself on?
I do. I love watching like Will Smith. He inspires me loads, and Oprah Winfrey. But in Forever, I absolutely love Angela Ockran.
Yeah.
So Chris is saying me. I absolutely love Angela Ockran. So when you do that anchoring that you taught us to do, Chris,
yeah,
I do that now. I don't do any webinars or anything. I used to have stickers all around my computer saying I'm Ange, I'm Ange. Now I actually have this together anchoring, and I say I'm amazing, I'm better than Ange, and then just to get that confidence. Yeah. It's really good what you taught her.
Yeah, well, that's it. And any of you who aren't familiar with anchoring, it's taking an experience where you felt a certain emotion. So whether that was being motivated, being confident, or feeling really inspired, and you've all had these moments where you've had success, or you just are absolutely buzzing. And what we do with an NLP technique, is take you back to that moment, and then really start to, really boost the colours, boost the sounds, boost the feelings until we get to a peak, and then you anchor it then through using the OK symbol on your hands. But what you're able to do then, and what Tracey's explaining now, is that once you've been there, or once you are in that moment, you anchor every moment from then on, which makes it more and more powerful. So when you need a boost, or when you need something to really give you a kickstart to the day, like me, I've been out running this morning, and every time I feel that I'm getting a little tired, I'll fire my anchor, which will boost me and give me a boost of confidence, which spurs me on. And that's the same thing that you can do with any sort of environment and any sort of experience. So if you need to know anything about anchoring, just let me know and we can go over that. And that's another point, is that at the masterclasses that we put on, these are events where people start sharing these different things with you, different techniques. You pick up loads at the masterclasses, Trace, don't you, with loads of different things that people teach you.
Yeah, absolutely loads. They are priceless for your business. The more training that you do, you don't need to know everything when you join this business. I didn't know anything from my first year. All I knew is that I needed case credits and the activity that I needed to do to get them. But throughout the time, I started listening to all the trainings that was online. I went to every single success day and every training event that was possible. And that absolutely helped me, because just one little tiny light bulb moment, like Chris done that anchoring the other day, and I can't stop doing it. So one little light bulb moment can absolutely change your business.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's about, we've got Phil Jones coming up now with the next one. It's in October, Tracy.
Yeah, and the tickets are flying out. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
And this guy knows exactly what he's doing, and he knows exactly how to be able to grow, to teach you how to grow any sort of business and change any parts of your life that need changing as well. We were looking at, I'm listening to a lot of coaching things at the moment, and there was one thing in there that was kept coming up all the time, and it was about being present. And not worrying about the future and worrying about the past, and if you can remain in the moment as much as you can, then it's a great way of you being able to stay in control. Because if you're worrying about the future, it causes anxiety. If you're worried about the past, it causes doubt and worry. And trying to stay in the present is a great way of being able to do that, and it's a technique that you can master. There's a great technique that was in this book, which may be able to help you be more present. Is that if all of you now, if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but if you are, close your eyes if you can, and I want you to think about the end of your nose. Okay, so at that moment, now while you're thinking about the end of the nose, now I don't want you to think about the end of your nose at all. Okay, stop thinking about your nose. You can't think about your nose anymore. Stop thinking about it. Stop picturing it in your mind. The problem that you've got is now that you've got that picture in your mind, you can't get rid of it. So what we'll find now is that if you've got a sort of doubt or a sort of thought that's in your mind constantly, that keeps coming up. So when people are out performing, they'll be worrying about, forgetting the words, or they'll be worried about tripping over a sentence in a presentation. Well, the problem is if you're present, you won't have these moments. But if you're also present, you'll be able to deal with them as well. So Beyonce, for example, if she forgets the words to a song, she puts the mic to the audience and gets them to sing the words. Now that's dealing with a problem there head on, and that's being present enough to be able to do that. So what you need to practice is whenever you start to worry about different things, is always think about the end of your nose. That'll bring you back into the present moment then, and then you'll be able to deal with anything head on. Okay, and it's a great little technique that I was picked up yesterday. So always try to use that as a way to become present. Okay, so obviously when you're driving, you're present a lot as well, and you're also in peripheral vision a lot then, which allows you to absorb a lot of things into your unconscious mind. So any learnings. So if you are in the car, a great thing to do to be able to absorb a lot of new teachings and new learnings is to have I can't even speak. Have the things like gym, things like I couldn't even get my words out then, Trace. And I talk about being present. I had to think about my nose to bring me back. So having Jim Rohn in the car playing stuff like that, because you're in peripheral vision, you're absorbing a lot of the information while you're driving. So that's a great way of doing that as well. Is there anything that you listen to in the car, Trace?
I do. I listen to Jim Rohn a lot. I listen to Phil Jones. Phil Jones that's the first CD I ever had, the audio. And we drove to Spain, and I listened to it about 30 times that day, over and over. And it was Why People Fail in Network Marketing. Yep. And I absolutely loved it. I find that Phil, everything that he says is common sense. It's just, you don't realise, but it is common sense what he says to do, and I absolutely loved that. We went over, so I still listen to that now. We've got absolutely loads that we've got in the car. Dr. Tom Barrett is really good. There's loads.
And I think I was listening to Jim Rohn the other day, and he said you can tell a leader by their library. And they should have a lot of stuff in the library that they're all looking, and not necessarily stuff that you've read, but having stuff in there so that you can always go. I've been learning about a lot of the speakers and that out there, motivational speakers out there, and trainers and coaches and things like that. The information that they know is not new information. They're pulling information in from all different sources, and then they're making their view of it, their take on it. So you can hear it in Phil Jones' stuff. You can hear a bit of GoPro, and you can hear a bit of so Jim Rohn, and you can hear all these different things. There's people who are inspiring them, and they're getting that information from listening to audios, reading books, watching videos, doing these things, and they're pulling all that information in, and then they're able to deliver their version on it. And like you said with Phil, it's all common sense for him. That's his take on it. You'll have other ones who are quite methodical. You'll have like Les Brown, who's really motivational. You know, everything that he says, he's practically shouting at you. Have you ever listened to Les Brown, Trace?
I have, yeah. He's brilliant.
He is absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love him. Now, Trace, one thing I wanted to touch on with yourself is that when you get up in the morning, you have quite a routine of being able to, because you run your business through motivation and excitement. And so when you get up in the morning, what's the kind of things that you do with the team then?
What I do when I first get up, I'm having a feedback there.
Isn't that horrible when you hear yourself?
I know. Right, it's fine. It's fine. The first thing I've got with my coffee. I start by everything that I need that next day, important first. But on top of my list, every single day in my diary, I've got contact my 10 people. So whether that's follow-ups or new people, I'll always contact my 10 in the first half an hour of the morning. Then I'll go through my team, the case credits. I check the case credits every single day to see if people are on track and if they need motivating. So I'll just message and say, well done, Han, you can do this. And, you know, just getting a team motivated more. So that's my first things that I do every single morning. I will always check my case credits at 7 a.m. every morning. Sometimes if they're not updated, I'm pressing it all morning. And then I'll do a volume map nearly every day of what I need. But I never, ever rely on my team to get the case credits that I need for my open, or because when I started, so every month when I started, if I needed 3 case credits that day, because I would break down the case credits I needed that month into days. If I needed that, say 3 case credits a day that month, I'd get up in the morning, motivate the team, and then I would try and get the 3 case credits by myself, never rely on anybody else, try and do it yourself. And I would stay up from 5 a.m, I'd work all day, try to get launches in, one-to-ones until midnight, until I managed to get the 3cc. And then the next morning you get up and there's extra on there from your team, so it's a bonus. But never ever rely on your team. And also I believed that 100% that I could do it. Never ever had a bit of doubt in my mind at all. I knew that I needed the 3 case credits a day, and I'd do everything I can and challenge myself until I got those 3 case credits.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, when you're touching on what you're saying there, Trace, is when you break it down into small chunks like that, then, you know, if you, like what we've incorporated into our business now is that I have a target every day of money that we go for. So, you know, we use that day to be able to do that. And when you know, targeting yourself to make £50 a day, for example, whether that's coming in from your team or personal sales from yourself, when you add that up over the month, over 30 days, that's £1,500. You know, and if it is, and it's not hard to go out there and make £50. You know, you've got all this opportunity in front of you, and I think you're right in breaking it down into bite-sized chunks is a lot more manageable for people. Do you think?
It is definitely more manageable because you can sit there, you could start today now and think, right, I need 15 case credits this month for supervisor. How on earth am I going to get it? And because you're thinking that, you're just not going to go out and do it. You're just going to worry about it and think, I'm never going to do it. You know, it's all about, like Chris says with his law of attraction, it's all about your mindset. You've got to believe 100% I am going to do it. And the only way I'm going to do it is putting lots of action in, putting lots of activity in, and I'm determined that I am going to get that promotion this month. It's all about determination and believing that you can do it, and followed up by loads and loads of activity.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's about being present in the moment and making sure that what you're doing is you're in charge of your own life. And I think that a lot of people have a list, and this is I was listening to this on Jim Rohn this morning, is they have a list of things that they blame. So they blame the government, they blame the weather, they'll blame you know, negative people around them, they'll blame all these things, and they have a massive list of things, the reason why they can't be successful. And Jim Rohn said that he had one of these lists, and he had this list, and his mentor came over to him and he said, so why is it that you're not successful? And he said, wow, well, brilliant, just the thing, I've got my list. So he got his list out, and he said he was quite patient with him. He went through all his lists, and he went through about the government and everything like this. And he looked at his list, and he said, "There's one thing missing off here. There's one thing you've forgotten." And he said, "What's that?" And he said, "You." And then he took his list, and he said, the reason why you aren't where you need to be today is because of you. So what we can do today is make a decision on being responsible for everything that we do and everything that we are able to become. And what you've got to look at is you've got to look at the skill sets that you need. And if any of you on here have been wanting to ask a question, and you haven't been able to bring yourself to ask the question, there's a very good reason for that. One of the reasons could be that if you haven't been doing the necessary trainings or doing the necessary activities to be as successful as you need to be, then you won't ask a question because you haven't got the data available to, just in case we turn around and say, well, yeah, we covered that in training yesterday. Weren't you on training? Okay, so by plugging into all the trainings, plugging into all the knowledge, and being and having as much information as you can, then when you see an opportunity to ask a question to either Chris, Tracey, Ange Lochran, or Emma Cooper, or Natalie Healy, or anybody along these, or Georgia, who's doing really well at the moment, Jade, you've got Emma Payne, you've got Catherine, all these people who are sitting here and will give you as much information as you want. You won't ask the question because you haven't done the activities just in case they catch you out. So what your job to do today is to make a pact with yourself that any information that's available for you, that you absorb it. And then when you need to ask a question, you'll be confident enough that you've done enough to be able to ask that question. And I think that's a big part with a lot of people is they get worried about going over and raising their hand in case they get caught out. So don't get caught out. And even if you haven't done it and you need to ask the question, be upfront enough to ask it. A light bulb moment, like Tracey said, could happen anywhere from anybody. It could come from somebody outside the business, could come from an assistant supervisor in your team by something that they say. Anything like that. And on that note, I'd like to, everybody who's here, if you've got something to share and you want to be a part of doing, being featured on the show, and you want to be able to tell people how you motivate your day, you send us a message and you let us know, and we'll get you on here. This isn't about just having people who are at the top of their game on there. We want to up and coming people as well. We want people who are setting the world alight, and we've got a couple of those coming up now in the next couple of weeks as well. Tracey, as we finish on this now, so we're just coming up to 7:30, is there anything that you'd like to share with people and get them a little bit of advice for them about becoming as successful as you and Chris have become?
Yeah, I would say that don't overcomplicate it. Keep it very simple. Follow that cycle. It's really simple. The more times you follow it, the more successful you're going to be. Believe in yourself today. Believe that you can change your business around because it can change in an instant. It's a simple process of doing 4 case credits every single month. Obviously, if you can do more, the better you're going to do in your business. But if you can make sure that you and your team, you're duplicating and teaching the 4 case credits process, then Forever will never ever fail you. The only way you can fail is if you stop. So just believe, practice, take action, not tomorrow, but now, today.
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, so on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to put on Tracey's motivational song for this morning, which will be, I love this. It's a great song. So grab your family, grab anybody who's around you. And what we need to do is start our day in a positive way. And we're going to do that with a nice positivity dance. And today we're going to take action and we're going to go out there and we're going to absolutely smash today. It is going to be the best day that you've ever had. So be prepared. Grab your family and start our day in a positive way. I'm going to turn yeah, we have a dance off. So I'm going to turn the recording off here as we don't want to feature any copyright. So if you are listening to this recording, there's a little link that's going to pop up so that you can put it on as well. So thanks everybody for listening and enjoy the